Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah. This is an interesting video.
Pete and I thought we'd do a hopefully short video on helping you choose a simple looper. All right, so we've got a selection of single button loopers. These are all in that kind of probably sub 150. The Boss might be slightly above, but it's about kind of getting your first looper and which one should you choose.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've got loopers that just loop. We've got loopers with some drums in them. And we've got loopers that you can put audio files into and sort of jam over the audio file.
Yeah,
and we're going to kind of explain like why you might want different ones of those.
And with MIDI.
Oof. So before we do, please like and subscribe to this channel. Lots of useful content on here. Probably lots of unuseful stuff too.
Probably mostly.
Mostly unuseful.
But you can win stuff every time.
Unuseful?
Unusefully.
Something like that. But hopefully still fun to watch.
Yeah, and you can win something. So
we win stuff, information on the screen now. What he said.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with maybe the best-selling, most famous looper of all. Boss might argue it's theirs, TC will argue it's theirs, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Ditto Looper was the first kind of mini format looper that was super affordable, super simple. So that's what we're going to start with.
And it just hit the ground running, and it was like, bang, there's a looper that's tiny, small. I remember Tor did a video, and I just went, this is awesome.
So there are copies of the Ditto Looper by cheaper brands that you've probably never heard of. We do an own brand thing called Landlord. They do a looper, I think, for 50 quid that's much the same as this.
More. There's
loads of them. But the Ditto is still great value. It's somewhere around about the 75, 80 quid mark, and it's a great little looper.
It is.
We are running this with the guitar going into an overdrive pedal, into the looper, into the front of the amplifier. The thing that's important to remember, if the idea with a looper is to create a loop perhaps with a cleaner sound or a lower volume sound, and then kind of solo over the top of it with a sound with other effects on, you need to make sure your looper is in the right place in your chain.
Yeah, at the very end of the pedal board before your amp, right?
Some people put it through the effects loop of there. You can do.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but that's just me personally.
Well, a lot of people with things like amps with all the effects built in, you have to put it through the effects loop.
True that.
Or, as Pete said, just have the effects you want to apply after you've done the loop before the looper pedal. So this is the kind of simplest setup.
Yeah.
Looping is all about the one. This is not going to be necessarily a lesson on how to loop. No. This is more a lesson of which pedal might you want to buy. But if Pete counts me in, I'll hit it on the one, and then what we have got on this Ditto Looper is potentially up to a 5-minute loop. Nobody loops for 5 minutes though. Most of our loops are like a couple of bars, aren't they? Maybe 4 bars tops. So count us in.
Okay, 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4.
Okay,
so there it is.
I'm going to turn that down now. You notice that again, we started on the 1, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 is where we turned it off again. And that's that loop, all right? Ditto has a nice clear green light to tell us now anything Pete decides to play is over the loop. So, I mean, and maybe we want a bit of overdrive. Super, super simple. We've only got one button on these simple loopers, so the button does a multitude of things. What's going to happen on the Ditto is if I press the button again once, light's going to go red, and we're what's called overdub mode. You're going to get your 2 bars of the loop to overdub it. If you're still playing at the end of that 2 bars, it's going to overdub it again. And again and again until you press the button and you get it back to the green light. So here we go. 3, 4. Okay, so now I can actually exit the overdub mode. I don't have to worry so much about being on the 1. I can just come out of the overdub mode. And here we are. Two clicks to stop it. All right. And then it's a double click and hold to clear that loop. So the simple loopers don't have any memory or anything like that. So it's a one loop at a time. As soon as you start another loop, it just deletes the first loop. Yeah. It's the simplest, easiest pedal that you can buy, really.
Yeah.
Some
but
people,
great fun.
Brilliant fun. So that, ladies and gents, is the Ditto Looper. Like I said, there will be alternatives to this, but that's a great looper if you just want to mess around.
Super looper.
Right.
Super
Should
looper.
we try this one next?
We shall.
Okay.
We shall.
Okay, so this is the NUX Loop Core. There's a few features on this actually that your average guitar player probably isn't going to use, but you might like. So we've got stereo in and out. So if you're running, I don't know, a stereo signal into it, you can use it as two discrete parts if you want. So you could have one loop on one side and a different loop on the other if you wanted to. It has got drums built in, which is the main thing that we're going to show you. I believe you can set this so that if, again, you could have the guitar coming out one channel, you could have the drums coming out the other.
Yeah. It's got a headphone socket as well, so you can actually sit and loop like that. I would think you might have to have some, I don't know if it's got built-in
modeling something going into it first. So I'm going to press this drum style button now to get some drums going.
So that's metronome, normal metronome.
Metronome is first, right? Yeah. If I want to basically see my different drum options, I just hold that drum style button down, and then here we go. Rock. And I've got, do you know what? I don't know how many different types there are. 38 different types.
Oh yeah. Holy smokes.
Again, if I hit the value button again, I'm going between, I can change the time signatures if I really want to.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to choose one of these. So there's my rock. I can hit the tempo button to make it, that's like a tap tempo thing. Can I actually just hold this down? Yeah, here we go. So if I hold the tap tempo down, I can adjust how fast it goes. So I've got what's called pre-beat. So that now means when I start looping, I'm going to get 4 clicks before the drums start. I don't have to have that. I can go straight into instant if I want. But
then you need to know the tempo.
Yeah.
So now I know the tempo.
Yep.
And now you click the button, and so you get a count in. Let it go, let it go, let it go.
3.
Wait.
Oh, you're going to go. Oh, he's going for it. Long loop. Put this tuner on.
Yeah,
we've got a tuner on the floor just to mute it. All right. So in the background, that loop is going. You can see we are a bit like the Ditto. We're in normal play mode now. I can absolutely hit this again to go into overdub mode, and it'll do exactly the same as the Ditto did, and just overdub and overdub and to our heart's content.
I'm just going to turn that down, because then we can match the level between those two, which is really clever. I like that. And then we can overdub on it, of course.
Go? Okay, here we go.
Just click it in anytime.
1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to come out of overdub mode to peak and just solo.
I like the fact that this has got 3 different modes. You can stop it immediately, or you can fade it out.
Can
or
you?
can, yeah, there's stuff in there.
This does have a USB socket now. You can store these loops. You'll notice I'm on number 3 right at the moment, so you've got all these different memory locations you can store these in. What we're next going to show you is Ditto Plus. All right, so Ditto Plus actually doesn't have drums in it. So I suppose in a way you could say it's a step down. And it's actually cheaper than the loop core.
But it's not stereo.
Maybe we've gone around this, the sort of, it's not necessarily one's better than the other.
No.
All right, so the similarities are Ditto Plus is kind of like the upgraded version of Ditto. So it's higher recording quality.
Yep.
It has built-in memory locations, so a little bit like that.
Yeah.
You can store your 99 different loops in there if you want to, or more.
Or you can take them
USB.
off onto your computer.
But what we really like on the Ditto Plus is you can import a WAV file or an audio file.
Yeah.
And if you've ever played along to real drums as opposed to drum machine drums, you kind of never want to go back to playing over drum machine drums again. So there's millions and millions of places you can go online and download real drum loops.
Yeah.
The audio quality is amazing. I guess what you can't do with an audio loop is adjust the tempo of it without it sounding like a time-stretched weird thing.
So I get all my loops from yurtrock.com, and they've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of different drum loops in different tempos, in stereo, mono, all sorts of stuff, and that's when I get mine, and I then load it into the Ditto.
So you load it in. It's a drag and drop process from from on your computer. We have got preloaded in here one of the Yurt-Rock drum. You got loads in.
I've got so many.
Okay, so let's find.
So the cool thing is here, you save all these locations. This is what I do on my Instagram videos. So you see, when it's a normal loop, like here.
Yeah.
Let me just turn that off. Without any drums, it'll just look like this. Mm-hmm. If you've got a drum loop in there, it has a little. See if I can find one.
Oh, I saw it. Your little tape machine.
Yeah. So there's a little tape machine there, and.
Immediately, that's more realistic sounding.
More realistic,
and of course, you could load in loops with bass lines on them.
Yep.
You load in whatever you want. You could record a piece in Logic if you wanted to yourself, and then load it in.
Sorry, that was one I made earlier.
So the cool thing is, what Pete just did there was clear the loop, but what it's done is it's cleared the piece of music that he's added over the top of the drum loop. So it hasn't deleted the loop you've imported in.
Which is cool.
So again, we've got this 11-second loop. I guess it's like two or four bars or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're all different, They could be 2, 4. So you see
it's just playing at the moment, right?
So just playing. And then I could just arm it now, so now it's ready to go. Well, no, you don't have to do that. I can do some bass maybe.
Come out of it now.
So there you go. Anyway, so that's what I do when I do my loops at home. That's what you see.
That is literally
straight into the amp as well.
Kind of the end of the video. Yeah. So there you go. It's one of these hopefully has made you think, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. So if you just want to go simple, no drums, no nothing, get yourself a Ditto Looper or something with similar features. Yeah. If you just think playing along to drums is cool, but you're not interested in loading in the audio files, then get yourself a loop core or an RC5 or a little Nux drum and loop. I mean, there's literally
RC10,
loads.
There's tons of them.
The loop core's got MIDI as well. So I mean, you could conceivably have this on your board with a little MIDI switcher and recall the patches that you want.
I know somebody's using that exactly pedal for that, so have a something that can recall his 10 songs.
USB-C. It's like made for the 21st century.
This is USB-C. Have a look at this one here. That's like grandma USB-C.
Oh my God, I've got a printer that's still attached using one of those.
Absolutely.
Anyway, look, that's it. links below. Hopefully it helps. But
comment below as well. You know, if you use a looper or you're getting into it, or maybe you want to see something more about looping.
Yeah, maybe we'll do the multi-button loopers and try and get into those. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Maybe it's that one.
Yeah. Oh, go again.
Oh my
See
word!
That? Can you see that on there? Look, there's a. What is it called? Pong, isn't it?
This is like.
3. You go. See how many you can get. Go on. 1, 2. 3. 4.
Oh. You can tell I'm a bit older than Pete, so this was my entire childhood was spent playing the grandstand version of this on our black and white telly.